Today we are heading to downtown Orlando. Hi everybody and welcome to the World of Micah. Today we're going to be finding 3 different filming locations that were the houses, the main houses for these films. We're going to be finding the house that belonged to the Heelys in Propblem Child 2. We're going to be finding the house that belonged to Daryl and the family he went to live in the movie Daryl. And then we're also going to be finding Ernest P. Worrell's house from Ernest Saves Christmas. All 3 films were shot between the years 1985 and 1991. There's a lot of history here in Central Florida, especially with it being known as the Hollywood East. Between the mid-1980s and the mid-1990s, this was a mecca for a lot of film and television. Obviously with the new Disney's-MGM studios opening up in Orlando, as well as Universal Studios Florida opening up, this gave opportunities to different film companies to come here to Central Florida and film probably for a lot cheaper than it would have cost in Los Angeles. Now in current day, they do not film quite as much here in Central Florida, but they do still film major motion pictures, television shows, and commercials from time to time. But today we're going to travel back. You guys are going to get to tag along. It's going to be a ton of fun. And before we get started, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's free. It'll keep you updated with my latest video. If you would like to support my channel, please visit my Patreon page at patreon.com/World of Micah. We're donating $1 a month. Can't help fund episodes just like this. Now, let's take a closer look. It's pretty amazing. Our first location, this is actually the water that Junior in Propblem Child 2 was throwing the rocks in when he was getting mad at his dad for asking all those ladies to go on a date. It's pretty crazy too. That's where John Ritter would have been driving his car with Junior, pulling in to the house right here. Only the strong survive. Now obviously there is a tree in the way, but you can kind of see how it still matches up to the far left. That is now a garage, and the house has had a paint job, but everything else still looks the same as it did in 1991. Here's another shot of the house. You can see they just changed it. It used to be blue and white, now it's a gray and a blue. Some things look the exact same and some things have changed a lot. The front door area looks pretty much the exact same. It's just to the right and left hand side that has been changed. They added a upstairs area to the right, and the left hand side they tore out and turned it into a garage. And right here was the famous shot of the mailbox, which was matching the house with the address 911. Pretty awesome. This was the house that belonged to John Ritter, and to the house to the far right looks the exact same as it does in the film. It's pretty amazing. Even the walkway leading up to this house is the exact same walkway. All right, moving on to house number 2. If you notice, all these filming locations of these houses, they kind of look like Anywhere Town USA. That's usually what they do when scouting for different films. They want to make sure that this house looks like it could be on your local street where you live. But we're gonna go and find the house from D.A.R.Y.L. D.A.R.Y.L was a film from 1985, starred Barrett Oliver, who you probably remember as the main kid, Sebastian, from The Never-Ending Story. And it also had Michael McKean in the film, who you probably remember from Laverne and Shirley. All right, we are heading to the Richardson's house. This was the family that pretty much adopted Daryl. He went to live with this family. If you haven't seen D.A.R.Y.L, I highly recommend it. It's a very good movie. Wasn't as popular for some reason, but it still holds up. I enjoy watching it from time to time. Not only are we gonna find the house that Daryl lived in with the Richardsons, but I'll also show you guys where Daryl's best friend in the movie, Turtle, his house was, because it's actually across the street, just like in the film. This is Daryl's house right here. The house looks the exact same, even a little overhang over the door, but looking through the windows, they've completely gutted this house. Sure, it's back on the market, but I don't believe anybody lives here current day. Even the house next door looks the same. They removed some of these trees, probably for filming in the front yard, but that's the same light pole right there in front of the walkway. It's now wrapped in shrubs, but in the film, it was there. It's kind of cool. Yeah, this light pole can be seen in the film, as well as that window right there. They had like a pull-out shot, kind of like this right here with the piano playing. I believe that was Daryl's window up there in that room. It's amazing. Right here in this photograph, you can see Turtle and his mom walking towards the edge of the driveway. The house in the back has had some work to it. A little bit of updates and changes, but that was Turtle's house, which was Daryl's best friend in the film. Played baseball with that guy and did all kinds of stuff. Key character in the film. I'll walk over here because in this yard, right over here is where Michael McKean was showing Daryl how to play baseball. Right over here was where the baseball scene took place. And you can actually see the house, the Daryl house in the distance. You can see Turtle, Daryl, and Mr. Richardson standing right in front of the house when they're talking about baseball. That's amazing, right? Daryl was filmed in 1985. It's pretty early for Central Florida. No Disney-MGM studios and no Universal Studios Florida yet. All right, moving on to the next spot. It's kind of amazing. At one point, this place was called the Hollywood East because they were filming a ton of stuff. You had Nickelodeon Studios at Universal. They were filming all kinds of movies in the sound stages, as well as Residential Street over at the Disney-MGM Studios. Tons of houses were built there for TV shows such as Empty Nest and Golden Girls, and they actually filmed a piece of Ernest Saves Christmas there. That was the home of Vern's house, Ernest's best friend. Currently heading to find where good old Ernest P.W. lived. Ernest Saves Christmas. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's also one of my favorite Ernest movies of all time. This was the house that belonged to Ernest in Ernest Saves Christmas. Right here. Now obviously it was decked out in Ernest fashion, had all kinds of stuff in the yard, and the house was painted differently, but still matches up. A lot of action happened right there in that driveway. It's also where Ernest was serving the pancakes to Harmony Star when she woke up and burned his hand. But this was Ernest's house right here. Pretty amazing. Can't believe Jim Varney was in this house and on this street in the year I was born, 1988. Well, you guys, our adventure has come to an end. I've just been wanting to do this for a while. Show you guys just a few filming locations. I see these locations all the time when I'm in and around the downtown area, and it always makes me smile. It makes me think back on a time when this was the Hollywood East. Comment below, out of these three films, which one's your favorite? Which one have you not seen, and which one are you going to watch after you watch this video? I recommend watching all three of them. They are fantastic films. Propblem Child 2, D.A.R.Y.L, and Ernest Saves Christmas are definitely on my top list of films. I've always loved those films. But it's time to say goodbye. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please give me a big thumbs up. All my links are down below. I will see you guys tomorrow on a brand new episode of World of Micah. Until then, everyone, stay weird. Goodbye. Thank you.